What about difficulties with girls in particular?
No.
No difficulties with girls at all?
No.
No, not at all. How do you feel about girls in general?
I'm attracted to them.
Oh, you are? Okay. So you're heterosexual?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that? Okay, that's important. Have you ever had a relationship with a female?
I don't wish to answer that.
Okay, all right. In terms of females, I mean females and women, because you're 25, you're a young man, right? We'll call them women. In terms of your feelings towards women in general, how would you describe that?
I would say that sometimes I am a bit upset that they choose to date obnoxious men instead of gentlemen.
Yeah. So I have a well, I got involved in this situation. I'll tell you about it later. But so my understanding is you have some problems with women who date obnoxious men. Right?
Yes.
And these guys, I'm thinking you're talking about the fellows who are loud, arrogant, generally outgoing and popular with girls.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a problem with the women that date these fellas?
Yes.
Why is it that you have a problem with the women?
Because I feel that it's illogical to be dating such men when they could be dating gentlemen instead. Right.
That makes sense. I mean, and I've seen that because I've grown up. And I'll tell you one of the issues that I had as a kid growing up, because I was, this is going to say, you might not believe me, but I wasn't a very big kid growing up. I was actually very, very small. And it took me a long time to grow. And so as a result, I was kind of ostracized. You know what I mean by ostracized? I was kind of
cast aside.
Yeah. And or I left out. Like I wouldn't get picked for teams, or anything like that. I was always kind of the last guy. Yeah, you ever see those television shows where all the kids are lined up and they're getting picked for the teams, and there's always one guy left out at the end.
Yeah.
That was me. I was that guy. And I was never very popular with girls in school, and that kind of actually went on through to early part of my adulthood, until I started getting taller and maturing, right? But I understand exactly what you meant, because I was, as a kid growing up, I was I was like any other kid, any other young man, right? You would look at attractive girls. And I knew I was probably just as smart, if not smarter, than some of the clowns they were dating. But because, for whatever reason, I didn't have what it took, they wouldn't date me. Because I think because I was short, they wouldn't date me, and they'd end up dating, the tall jocks and the other, the good-looking fellows. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Then you kind of resent these girls, right?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a superficial way of deciding, who it is
because
you're going to
height is an unfair. You can't control your height.
Right. Exactly. Right. What other things can't you control?
You can't control your looks either.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Although you're not a bad-looking guy.
Thank you.
No, you are. You're a good-looking guy. You keep yourself well, and you're good. You're fit. You're tall. Yeah. What other things can't you control?
I'm unaware. I'm not aware of anything else you can't control.
What about like physical disabilities? Right. Obviously, if you were blind, or
Unfortunately, you can't control that.
Yeah, you can't control that. That's what I mean. So these are things you can't control, or other disabilities. If you're mentally handicapped, or if you have an amputee, or there's other things. So does that would you include that in those issues that you can't control?
Yes.
And so how long have you had this this feeling towards women who are attracted to this particular type of guy?
Ever since I started college.
Ever since you started college. Okay. Was it something that occurred as a result of a single incident? Like, was there one particular moment in your life where it sort of struck home this was a problem, or was it just a...
On Halloween of 2013, I was attending a house party, and I walked in and attempted to socialize with some girls. However, they all laughed at me and held the arms of the big guys instead.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of rude. And how did that make you feel?
I felt very angry that they would, because I considered myself a supreme gentleman. I was angry that they would give their love and affection to obnoxious brutes.
Really. And so it was at that particular moment, and that was sort of the defining moment that made you think that, this is wrong, and these people are
Yes.
are unfairly treating you in the way that they were.
Yes.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I appreciate you telling me that. That says a lot. And so from that point on, what did you start doing?
I started thinking that it's unfair that certain guys will not get any love and affection from girls.
Okay. And what do you mean by certain guys?
Such as me, that are very nice and act gentlemanly.
Right. Are there other guys? Did you find other guys are in the same?
I know of several other guys over the internet who feel the same way, but I know they are. I would consider them too cowardly to act on their anger.